Look, folks, I gotta be honest. I feel like I've been losing my mind these past couple of days with everything going on with Charlie Kirk's shooting and the political fallout as a result. I've been seeing all of these different Republicans get online, including the President of the United States, I might add, and spread blatant misinformation about the story to mislead their supporters. And then they make threats against the Democratic Party based on those lies. It's a disgusting and dangerous cycle that we're watching take place right now on the far right of American politics, and it's becoming more mainstream. So I just want to go through a couple of stories that you need to know about right now in relation to the Charlie Kirk shooter, because this is where Republicans are in the country. So let's just dive in here with something that Donald Trump said yesterday. He had this impromptu press conference on the tarmac, and we're actually going to look at a clip from it in a moment, but I want to read you this quote regarding retaliation for Charlie Kirk's murder. It's not retaliation against the shooter, the guy who actually pulled the trigger, the guy who's actually responsible, but instead just Democrats broadly. Hugo Lowell, who is a journalist for The Guardian, he's the White House correspondent for The Guardian for the Trump administration, he said yesterday, Trump claims the administration is investigating leftist groups in response to Charlie Kirk's assassination, saying, we'll be announcing they're already under investigation. A lot of people that you would traditionally say are on the left, they're already under investigation. So he's investigating more people, and people on the left are already under investigation. That could be anybody. That could be your favorite liberal Democratic YouTuber who has a difference of opinion from Donald Trump, somebody getting investigated because they disagree with this administration. It could be anybody, and that's the scary part. When Donald Trump says we're investigating leftist groups in connection to the shooting, so far there is no connection. It seems like Donald Trump is just using this shooting to target leftist groups, and he doesn't mean like far left groups, which would already be crazy because freedom of speech, freedom of expression in this country. Trump clearly means just Democrats. He's using this shooting to target Democrats. So retaliation is coming, and he's not even trying to hide it. He's just saying, yep, if you're a left-leaning group, we're coming after you for something that you did not do. It's so crazy the country we live in, and this is part of the reason, before we move on to this clip, part of the reason why I feel like I'm losing my mind looking at the discourse online. Here's another one where Trump said something blatantly false about the reaction to Charlie Kirk's shooting. There have been some people online who have celebrated it. I have condemned that. I don't think people should be laughing at it or celebrating it. It is a tragic situation and also really bad for America. The slope we're going down right now is just dangerous. But Donald Trump said that the Republicans would never do such a thing, which is categorically false. Take a look at what he had to say.
They're already under investigation?
Already under investigation.
Have you asked to start revoking the visas of those who have celebrated Charlie Kirk's death?
What?
Have you asked to start revoking the visas of the foreigners who have celebrated Charlie Kirk's death?
No, we haven't, but we are looking at names. We don't like that. That's not right. We wouldn't celebrate if something happened on their side, and we don't. These are sick people. These are really deranged people.
Any progress on the Fifth Amendment?
He is such a blatant liar. He is lying to their faces, and it drives me nuts that none of these journalists push back and cited the many different examples where Republicans celebrated violence against Democrats. For example, let's just use the Paul Pelosi example. You could look at Melissa Hortman, who was murdered in her home by an evangelical Trump supporter. Republicans laughed at that. You could look at Biden's cancer diagnosis. Republicans laughed at that too. Let's just use Paul Pelosi for the time being. Donald Trump Jr. posted this meme about Paul Pelosi after somebody broke into the Pelosi family home and hit Paul Pelosi over the head with a hammer. He was looking for Nancy Pelosi and hit him badly and injured him badly over the head with a hammer. Donald Trump Jr. laughed about that. Republicans laughed about that. And it wasn't just Trump Jr. It was actually Donald Trump himself. He joked about Paul Pelosi getting injured. Take a look.
We'll stand up to crazy Nancy Pelosi who ruined San Francisco. How's her husband doing, by the way? Anybody know? And she's against...
Oh, and the crowd loved it. The crowd laughed. They loved it. But this is the same... This guy just said they would never, ever mock political violence against the left. Look back just what? I think this was in 2024, I believe. Donald Trump mocking the assault of a Democratic Party member. It's just such blatant hypocrisy. So I'm just baffled by the hypocrisy. I'm baffled by the lies, but I want to move on to some more factual information that Republicans are just kind of running with right now. And the lack of transparency here is just making the discourse worse. So earlier today, the Utah governor said that the Kirk shooting suspect held leftist ideology. And look, I've always maintained on this channel that number one, I'll never BS you. I'm always going to give you the facts. And I will obviously insert my opinion, but I'm going to give you the facts. I've always said as well that I believe this could be a case of radicalization on either side. And I still don't think it's certain, regardless of what the governor says. It could be left-wing radicalization. It could be right-wing radicalization. So far, the governor's saying that it's left-wing. But both of these things happen. Both of these things are very real. And we as a society, especially as Democrats, have to condemn both of these things. And so the governor, in an interview, said that Tyler Robinson was radicalized with and had a leftist ideology. It's not clear if the leftist ideology drove him to do this, but regardless, Governor Spencer Cox of Utah on Sunday provided new information about the background and political leanings of the 22-year-old, accused of killing Charlie Kirk, saying that the suspect had a leftist ideology and had also been in a romantic relationship with a partner who is in the process of transitioning from male to female. This also has had kind of really vague reporting on it as well. There's just so many questions unanswered here. We will be learning more soon. Mr. Cox, speaking on NBC's Meet the Press, described the suspect as a normal young man who appeared to have been radicalized some time after he dropped out of college. Mr. Cox did not go into specifics about Mr. Robinson's ideological views or offer details to substantiate his assessment of the suspect's views. He said that Mr. Robinson spent much of his time immersed in online gaming, message boards, and parts of what the governor called the deep, dark internet. And this is another part that is driving me crazy. Why would the governor of Utah disclose what he believes Tyler Robinson's political ideology is if he's not going to provide examples? And we know that Tyler Robinson is going to be formally charged in court on Tuesday. He's going to appear on Tuesday, and we'll get the charging documents and more evidence will be released then. I'll cover it on this channel. Why not wait? Why not wait until Tuesday to provide this information? Why are Republicans so antsy to jump the gun and set the narrative? Has patience completely evaporated in this country where people wait for facts and reliable information to come out? I'm hearing myself speak, and the answer is yes. I mean, I think that evaporated a while ago, but it's just driving me nuts. And in addition to this, the governor in this interview kind of spoke as to how he got radicalized, and he was still very vague. Just take a look.
About something you said on Friday, you said, quote, there was a radicalization that happened in a fairly short amount of time. How was the suspect radicalized? How quickly did it happen?
Well, again, those are pieces of information that we're still gathering, trying to understand. We do know, and again, this has been well publicized, that this was a very normal young man, a very smart young man, 4.0 student, I think a 34 on the ACT, went to my alma mater, Utah State University, but was only there for a very short amount of time. I dropped out after less than one semester, and it seemed to happen kind of after that. After he had moved back to the southern part of Utah, clearly there was a lot of gaming going on. Friends that have confirmed that there was kind of that deep dark internet, the Reddit culture, and these other dark places of the internet where this person was going deep. And you saw that on the casings. I think I didn't have any idea what those inscriptions, many of those inscriptions even meant, but they are, certainly the memification that is happening in our society.
It's frustrating because there's no specifics here. Nobody understands what he means when he says this. He's saying he was on deep, dark corners of the internet, message boards, et cetera, but any specifics at all? Can he point to any one piece of evidence that establishes this? And I want to be very, very clear that I am not taking a position here. I'm not saying he was left-wing. I'm not saying he was right-wing. I think it's actually wrong for people to jump before we know the facts. That's always been my position. So I'm not taking a position here. It's just that if you are going to take a position and you're the governor of the state where this happened, you might want to have, just something to say in this interview that kind of backs up your theory, and can, maybe give the public some comfort, some solace, some understanding of what's happening here. Just insane. And so the last thing I want to show you, and I'll make it quick, is that we've just looked at a bunch of Republicans spread lies like Donald Trump. We have the governor of Utah not necessarily lying, but kind of, in my view, jumping the gun a little bit on the motives and possible political belief of Tyler Robinson. So Republicans are now using that to declare war on Democrats and maybe even incite violence against Democrats. Elon Musk, for example, said in multiple different posts over the past couple of days, said the goal is a trusted digital town square where a wide range of views are tolerated. This was a while ago. People don't break any laws or spam. For example, the incitement to violence will result in an account suspension. That's the groundwork that Elon Musk said. But in the past couple of days, he said the left is the party of violence and hate. The left is the party of murder. Either we fight back or they will kill us. What? I mean, this seems pretty dangerous to be saying to your hundreds of millions of followers on Twitter. And Nancy Mace also said that the Democrats own the shooting of Charlie Kirk, saying it's the Democrats' fault. Other Republicans have said it's the media fault, the members of the media, and it's that on them because Charlie Kirk got shot. And here's just a bunch of Republicans. You can pause to read them if you'd like. A bunch of different accounts, including Laura Loomer, including Elon Musk, including people who are close to the President of the United States, including the President of the United States himself, making incredibly inflammatory comments. They've declared war, for example. This is war, for example. Members of the Democratic Party need to be treated like a terror organization, for example. This is insane. And that's why I feel like I'm losing my mind. Because what are we doing as a country? Why do we have the Republicans jumping the gun, trying to set the narrative for political points? We're talking about a shooting. We're talking about gun violence. And they're looking at, oh, how can we make this a politically beneficial point for the Republicans? I'm sorry. I feel like I'm making this video to really get this off my chest and speak to this, but there's just so much misinformation and people got to wait for the facts. Anyway, look, I'll leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate you tuning into my rant. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about the story and everything I talked about and what your opinions are on everything we discussed. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.